I'm Daemonxel, and this is your Eve Echoes weekly news update, where we take a deep dive into all the happenings of the week. But first, as always, if you can tag that subscribe button, ring that bell, share and like the video, then of course you can stay up to date with everything that this channel has to offer. Now first, we're going to start off with a little game news before moving into the community news. This week on the game news, we have a new event starting off called the Welcome to the Starfaring Festival. Now, if you're wondering what this is like kind of like a countdown kickoff to the anniversary that's going to be happening next month. However, there is a little bit of controversy with this event. Now, as it states, it says, in New Eden, reconstruction of the first Stargate linking Amar and Hayden marked the end of the long dark ages. It has been 2,070 years since that date, and a voyage ceremony will be held in memory of this historic event. An infinite amount of stars puts into perspective how small pilots are, yet greatness exists within them. Sail away to the stars, to the battlefield. You have the blessing of all. Now, it also states that attention Corp CPOs and directors, registration for the voyage ceremony will be available soon, and we are inviting all corporations to join us for this event. Please check the registration guide. Now, if you look at this, as well as in-game, it costs 1,000 AUR to register for this voyage. Now, obviously, if you're not picked, that AUR will be refunded back to you. Now, in terms of actual cash money for this event, you're looking at around $40 US. I'm not sure what it is in euros or anywhere else, but here in the States, it's going to run you about $40, and that's going to get you about 1,050 AUR for this. Now, only the CEOs and executives can partake in this. Not a line pilot. You can't put the money up for anybody else. It has to be the executive of the corporation. In fact, the actual guidelines state that if you intend to register for the voyage ceremony, please make sure that your corporation meets the following requirements. That is, A, the CEO and director must have Omega Clone activated. B, over 30% of the corporation's members have Omega Clone activated. That your corp has been established for more than 30 days and has over 30 active members. And obviously, it says here, too, the top 3 corporations in the previous inscription of the Galaxy rankings will be invited to participate. If they refuse to participate or do not meet the participation requirements, they will not be included in the ranking. The corporation invited this way must meet the following conditions. Basically, it's everything I said before. Established 30 days, 50% of the corporation members have to have Omega, the CEO and director have to have Omega, and you have to have over 50 active members. Now, we're going to get into later about how the inscription of the Galaxy was tainted, and there was actually some, shenanigans and cheating and exploits going on during that, which I believe have been rectified. But it states here that the registration fee is 1,000 AUR and will be fully refunded if the registration is unsuccessful. And the deadline for this is obviously the 28th of July at UTC -4. My time Eastern is 12 a.m. Please note that due to space constraints, the maximum number of participants for this voyage ceremony is 50 corporations, and of which the list of the non-invited corporations will be confirmed through random selection on the second day after the closing date and will be announced separately. Now, in addition, the corporation banners that participated in the event will be permanently documented on the Voyage Ceremony Memorial Architecture. Every pilot visiting the universe will read the Interspace Epic poem written by the pioneers of the event. Basically, what you're going to get for this is you're going to get a box. It's going to give you a commemorative medal that you can display on your person. It's going to give you some Lazarus things, to reskill, and I forget what the other thing is. But it's $40. It's no longer even pay to win. It is pay to participate, or pay for the chance that you're going to be selected for this. Now, in the countdown, there is 29 days left, and they're promising us through that time we're going to get new gameplay, a new event, more content coming soon, and obviously a new build-up system. Now, someone on Reddit actually made this a kind of more accurate way of reading what's coming for, I'll say there's going to be a new enemy force as well. So the new event, 1000 AUR, the new gameplay mode, we don't know. It's all question marks. Wormholes, sleepers, Triglavians, drone region, more pay-to-win content coming soon. And, of course, the build-up system is the build-up of the NetEase wallet. Now, obviously, with the last illusionary ghost thing that just happened, they made a killing with the real money. So I guess they're just trying to plunder everyone's wallets right now. And they're just throwing caution to the wind and try to take every dime they possibly can for this. I'm totally against the having to pay real-life money to just participate in this. They should have just done it so everyone can register, and then it just randomly selects. That's it. You shouldn't have to pay to even get in the selection running. This is bullshit. But hey, NetEase is going to do NetEase things, so I guess we have to just wait and see exactly what's going to happen. Now, we did ask for an advance copy of, hey, what can we expect from this year's event? Any little tidbits, but of course, they're keeping tight-lipped. We don't know what's going on. They're not letting us know. But we do know some things that are coming in the future. Now, remember that thing that they explained a while back? I believe it was on the first anniversary, about Project Discovery? That one thing that was in EVE Online and that was coming to EVE Echoes. It was going to be this new mini-game. And, well, that's been delayed. It was supposed to come out in July. We're now told it's going to be coming out mid-August or late August. And if you have not seen yet inside your Caldari ship tree, you're going to see a new cruiser there. It's called the Enforcer prototype, and it's a very stylish ship. It's based off a Concorde model, and it's actually in EVE Online, I believe, as an FC ship. But the theory is that this is going to be the reward from that mode, from that Project Discovery. Now, it's going to have 4 highs, 3 mids, 4 lows. It's going to give you 5% armor, 5% shield, bonuses to all weapons, except for, decompilers. Basically, it's a reskinned Gnosis. But when they finally get around to it and we actually get the ship, you can look a little snazzy flying this cruiser around. It does look sick, actually, with some of these skins. I've only seen the 3 skins that are come on it. The black one is choice, and that silver one, beautiful. So, the shenanigans with the inscription of the Galaxy event. Now, we got these screenshots. These were sent to me. And as you can see, OS Corp is first place right now. But the way they're doing that is by getting, ships like Ibises and Pears and stuff like that, loading them up with the overpriced skin boxes and modules that just cost way too much, and killing it with a capital. Because that's how you get on the top of the charts. So this has been an exploit. We've been told that there have been punishments that have gone out. They've been stripped of the titles and stuff like that. That it's all squared away. But as you can see, everyone's going to someone out there is going to find an exploit to try and get to the top of the charts. So be wary if any of your corporations are trying to do something like that, or find a quick way to rise up through the charts doing crap like this. Alright, let's see what kind of information I can let loose from the CC room. Well, I can let you know that the community manager is back from vacation and back in good health. They were under the weather, but Carly is back and have answered a lot of our questions that have gone unanswered for the last 2.5 so weeks. Of course, they're not letting anything loose about what's coming, to the future, but they do promise more communications, because a few days ago we were told by the mods that we are no longer allowed to ping devs with questions. We actually now have to go through the mods, who will then escalate our questions up the chain. Now, I personally have issue with this, only reason because, what if I ask a question about an event or something else that a dev can answer, but the mod who takes it decides it's not worth sending up the chain, or it's a stupid question, or just plain does not like me. I have no recourse to find out if this question is going up the chain. But then again, it's not like anything normal. We ask questions, we don't get answers anyway. But Carly does promise that the lines of communication will be more open, and yes, I'm doing air quotes, for the future. They also want to let us know that they are hard at work for the anniversary event that's coming up next month. There is a lot of stuff coming. We've also asked about the Faction Warfare DIR Reflection. They said they were going to add that to the Faction Warfare, and we still haven't had it. They say they are still working on that, but they are also working on a new mode, which is 1v1s. So at least that's something that we can look forward to getting in, say, I don't know, a year or whenever. But in the post itself, it says that we will get the new 1v1 Faction War games in August. But the DIR Reflection, they have no information whatsoever right now. We don't know when we're getting that. So if you are hoping that it's going to be coming out in the next month, well, don't hold your breath. So other than the new Faction Warfare mode that's coming in August and the Project Discovery that will also be coming in August, there's really not anything more I can actually talk about right now from those discussions, but mostly it's just long conversations about how we can open up the lines of communication and basically yada yada yada, same song and dance we've been doing for the last 2 years. But those are hopeful. We'll hopefully that this will change with this, with Cartley as the new CM. We all know it didn't change with Joseph. We all know it didn't change with Hayden. So maybe third time's a charm. We will find out. Now, I do harp on the devs a lot, and you guys know I try to hold them to the fire. But the recent patch that we got was actually not that bad. We got some good stuff. The new content is a bunch of series of missions, which I know not everyone's a mission runner, but these missions, some of these can actually be done in nullsec now. And during these missions, you can actually open up the chests that are left behind after defeating all the pirates, which will contain data cores, processed metals, rigging experiment data, and experiment secret trafficking containers. Now, the gist of it is, yes, you can get this stuff, but I have talked to several people who have done the nullsec missions, and they're not paying out anything more than the high-sec missions, so you can still make more going to the high-sec islands, so with less risk, by the way. But at least they're branching out. So if you want a break from the monotony of your nullsec life, running anomalies, obviously if you're not cap, running capital anomalies, making tons of ISK, which I don't because I'm a poor reporter. But at least it will break up the monotony of your everyday. But the big news is the Type 4 rigs. Now, I do applaud them on the way they go about this. Now I'm going to read it and I'm going to give you my take on it because I haven't really played along with it, around with it at all yet. It says, in response to the threat of an unknown faction, manufacturing license of the Type 4 rigs is now made available by Concord to help Capsuleers improve their combat abilities. A feasible reverse engineering blueprint for Type 4 rigs is formulated to control the cost of use and promote market circulation. The blueprint is based on the blueprints of Type 1, Type 2, and Type 3 rigs of the same series with adequate supply in the market and perfected through extensive experiments. Materials required of Type 3 blueprints, mainly Type 1 blueprints, Type 2 blueprints, and rigging experiment data. So this is a brilliant idea to actually make use of those cheap Type 1, Type 2 blueprints for rigs, which people are just throwing up on the market for pennies. Now, there is two versions of it. You have a permanent version and a limited time version. Now, the permanent version is a rigging experiment data for reverse engineering can be obtained from the Rescue Laboratory Series missions. Now, these are those nullsec missions, but those laboratory missions can be also high-sec and low-sec as well. But obviously, since if you spend most of your time in nullsec, you're going to be doing that there. Reprocessed materials for manufacturing can be obtained from the cosmic anomalies or markets. For the limited time ones, open the experiment secret trafficking containers to obtain rigging experiment data. The price is 2 million ISK with a daily purchase limit. So basically, you can buy these keys for 2 million a pop. But there is a list. I think it's about 10 that you can get per daily. Don't hold me to it, but I'm pretty sure that is it. Now, these are going to be in the New Eden store for limited time until July 31st. So you have until the end of the month, all, 10 days of it, to pick these up. Now, for these limited time items in that store, not only are you going to get those keys, or the secret trafficking container, you also can pick up a brand new skill point special offer pack, which contains insurance point lucky packs, skill points, and Lazarus units. It comes with a weekly purchase limit. Also, there is a brand new sneak peek lucky pack, which contains 3 of those trafficking containers, the experiment ones, 3 secret trafficking decoding credentials, and 1 experiment data option box. And that's also with a weekly purchase limit. Now, there have been some adjustments on some of these rigs. The rocket fuel cache partition, which includes the capital class, has been adjusted to 8, 12, 16, and 20% respectively. The hydraulic bay thrusters, including the capital class, has been adjusted to 8, 11, 14, and 17%. The drone range extender has been adjusted to increase both the optimal range and the fall-off range, as well as the fighter range extender has also been adjusted to increase both the optimal and the fall-off. And of course, you know, every week, the optimization updated estimated prices based on successful transactions in the market. Now, it's been a slow community news week cycle, so I only got 2 stories going on right now. The first is basically a follow-up from last week, where Legend Corp has left Terran Federation and has joined forces to go up into the north and live in silent space. In fact, Legend has actually made a new alliance called the Mobile Infantry, otherwise with the ticker APES. Now, they've been mostly doing small gang warfare against ships as well as posses, taking them out. I have heard of them getting some kills. I've also heard from Silent that they've been killing a bunch of them as well, so there is 2 sides to every story. The new mobile infantry is doing guerrilla warfare against their ships. However, they keep running into the problem of Silent hot dropping multiple capitals upon their cruiser fleets. And in fact, I actually heard of a report of a gate camp, a silent gate camp with, I believe it was 1 Dictor and 8 dreadnoughts, and a person with a Stradios getting away from them, and the person from Silent that had the dreadnoughts was accusing the person of basically being a coward running away from a gate camp. What are you going to do against 8 caps in a Stradios? I mean, come on. I understand you guys are, you know, using that force, but use some common sense. Don't throw that out there, you know, just to be ridiculed. Now, also, I have contacted Zen, the leader of the Silent Federation, on an official comment on exactly what's going on up in the north. How is it going? Is Legend actually doing anything to them? And he replied with, "It's been irrelevant. There's always content in the neighborhood, so not really anything to comment on." On a more generalized note, he said, "We're working hard to increase our intelligence network and grow our defensive posture. It's been fun in the north with regular roams from about everyone from Void to the Brethren Corps and No." So we will keep an eye to the north to see if anything comes of this, see how much damage that the new mobile infantry will be doing to Silent, if they have caps, if they're going to be moving caps. I'm looking forward to the day where we have a massive cap battle. I was hoping for that during the Genesis War, but we were denied that. I'm hoping to see that sometime in the near future with, you know, like 50 caps on both sides. That would be a great video. But moving on to the main story, and that is a somewhat of a war against Providence from the red-headed stepchildren. Now, I first saw this in this GIF here, you know, about the war coming to Providence, which intrigued me. So I had to reach out to the red-headed stepchildren to get an official statement on what is actually going on. I asked for the details of the story. You know, is it all red-headed stepchildren, or is it just a corp? And I was told that no, it is all red-headed stepchildren. They had just against a corp, the Providence Alliance Serenity. I'm told that they have just harassed my new members, TWS, too many times since they moved in. They started to stage stuff in our stations, talked way too much shit, like way too much shit. So due to those reasons, we are only there to kill and harass back. We are not about a war, just a response to what they have done. There will be no sov hits, only players and posses. And I asked if they were still located in FSociety, and they said yes, and that Provi is actually staging in this station C9N within FSociety, saying that they were harassing the TWS and talking crap to them and their entire alliance, and that they have enough screenshots to justify them hitting them back. Now, they also put out some rules of the warfare which redhead stepchildren line members are to follow, such as no talking local, stuff like that, and demands for the end of the war, some of which are obviously ridiculous. Now, I had to reach out to the very quiet, very low-key Providence Alliance, Providence Coalition, to find out exactly from them what exactly is going on. But first, I did speak to a member of the TWS Corporation to find firsthand what their corporation, why they were being harassed by Serenity. And I was told that TWS left Provi for redhead stepchildren, and that was the catalyst, that they left Providence peacefully, couldn't stand how politically correct they were, so they left, and another corp came with them, Fred, or FR3D, that TWS recruited into Serenity and knew from the Pantheon back when they were all in it. As for being close friends, they left shortly after we did, and then Serenity made the excuses about why we were no longer blue, and that they saw one of our pilots in their area, but since they didn't like that pilot, they assigned a threat level to him, and that was their reasoning for rescinding the blue status shortly after they started staging ships and C9 next door to us. And when Red-Headed Stepchildren leadership saw this, they decided that there should be a response. No war of extermination, just content. So I reached out and talked to the leader of the Serenity Alliance to find out exactly what is going on. Obviously, when the news broke about this, many people were contacting him, and obviously he had no idea who I was and wanted to know why everyone seemed to care about it. But afterwards, when I explained who I was and what it was for, he did actually break down exactly what was going on. I told him the story that I heard was currently 2 corps have left to join Redhead Stepchildren. Serenity does the harassment based out of C9N, and now Redhead Stepchildren is planning a non-structural war, just content, against Serenity. And he stated that 2 of the 3 of those is complete bullshit. 1 corp left mysteriously and stole 4 whole players. That was Fred. On the way out, calling them a corp is a bit of a stretch. They have been harassing us, was basic harassment. Then they started bashing structures left and right, and only with the small stuff like bombers when they were not looking. Mostly just nuisance. He doesn't even know where C9N is, and honestly he has no idea why they're screwing with us. But they seem to be escalating their aggression. We weren't taking it very seriously until people like yourself started asking us why we are at war. We are still debating whether or not it was a war or is a war. So there you have it, a war, not war. But unfortunately there is an update to this, because myself and several other people have actually asked about this and inquired about this fighting and this war. It has basically been called off. I have been told that our leaders have talked, and it's all over now, so no more actions on both sides. Now, to me, that's just boring. You should attack anyway. Have some fun. There's no content right now. Make your own content. Have some fun. But I believe it's mostly because the Providence Coalition does like to keep a low-key on everything. They don't want to be in the news. They don't want their names going out there. They just want to keep to themselves. And pretty much that's why the war is not going on now. Obviously, the Rebel Alliance has been in the news of late due to the massive theft that rocked them. However, a new kind of thief tried to steal from them again, and they want it known that it won't be tolerated. A random Nidhogger entered their space to steal a rally point. They formed up, they tackled it, and then they killed the 37.6 billion carrier, and want it known that this kill mail is a message sent to all anomaly thieves entering their territory. This week on the Corp Alliance Spotlight, we have the Mobile Infantry APES. The Mobile Infantry was created in the interest of fun and PvP. We are fully PvP alliance offering PPK to pilots. Mobile infantrymen are team players and comrades in arms who seek to constantly improve combat capabilities. Corporations or pilots who feel they can add to our value are encouraged to contact us. We look forward to fleeting with you. And of course, as always, the contact information will be below in the description. And now it's time for What the Fit. This Minmatar rebel was able to seize control of an Amarian Oracle II battlecruiser, threw away those lasers, and strapped on the weapons of their oppressed peoples. 3 strike cannons and 3 autocannons for good measure. Have you ever wondered what happens when a PvP pilot retires? Well, this battleship pilot decided to retrofit their Scorpion with miners to spend a peaceful life shooting rocks that don't shoot back. Next, this Explorer Interceptor was not satisfied with mere rails or snubs. If while in a data relic site they got into a scrap, no, they wanted something a bit more exotic. I give you the Yanjun Atron Interceptor complete with decomposers. This other Scorpion pilot must also be an anti-missile advocate because the large missiles were swapped out for these medium autocannons. And lastly, we come across a pilot who is a missile enthusiast, ignoring those ship bonuses because, hey, they're only suggestions. I give you this Omen Navy issue with torpedoes. So when you kill something and it looks not quite right, go on and send it in to me, see if it qualifies for What the Fit. Alright, we're going to move right into the big kills of the week. Give starts us off with a 7.4 billion Rattlesnake kill. The Brethren Court gives us a 9.7 billion Macarial kill. No Please Stop gives us a 16.8 billion Charon Freighter kill. A 6.7 billion Nightmare. 2 Balgorns, one at 7.7 billion, the other at 6 billion. And 2 Orca kills, one at 8.6 billion, the other at 9.4. New to the list, the Cleanup Crew gets themselves a 6 billion Vindicator kill. The Silent Federation gives us a 7.4 billion Macarial kill, a 10.5 billion Rattlesnake kill, a 7 billion Balgorn kill, 2 Orcas, one at 11.3, the other at 10.8, one 12.9 billion Bargus kill, and lastly, a 7.9 billion Cinnabal kill. AAA Ad Astra gives us 2 Balgorn kills, one at 8.9, the other at 7.8 billion, and also a 6.7 billion Vindicator kill. Next, we move right into the capital kills of the week, and the Brethren Court starts us off with 3 Nidhogger kills, one at 47.7 billion, one at 33.4, and lastly at 36.5. They also got themselves 2 Thanatos kills, one at 36.2 and the other at 37.6. Noah scores themselves 4 Nidhoggers, starting off with a 34.5 billion, a 50.7 billion, 38.4 billion, and lastly 37.6 billion. They got themselves a 34 billion Archon kill, a 47.1 billion Thanatos kill, a 38 billion Naglfar kill, and lastly a 41.7 Chimera kill. Ret Sea gets themselves 2 Naglfar kills, one at 36.7, the other at 38.2, and they also got themselves a 58.2 billion Rorqual kill. The Cleanup Crew gets themselves a 40.7 billion Archon kill, and lastly Loco gets themselves a 34.2 billion Thanatos kill. Next, we move into everyone's favorite segment. That's right, the solo kills of the week, and a chance to win a free Omega combo. Starting us off in the industrial category is Gelodorus Russ with a 1.6 billion Coveted 2 kill, Hostile 2 with a 4.4 billion Orca kill, Eric B with a 2.5 billion Coveted 2 kill, Alter Ingram with a 5.8 billion Orca kill, T-Check with a 8.1 billion Badger 2 kill, XSWLNMB with a 12.6 billion Nereus 2 kill, and Honk's Employee of the Month Badran wins this week with a 25.1 billion Charon Freighter kill. In the PvP category, I only have 3 entries this week. The first is Reaper with a 3.5 billion Orthrus kill. Next is Lord Electra with a 3.7 billion Macarial kill. And Dex 257 with an astounding 36.6 billion Nidhogger kill as a solo kill. And those are your winners this week. Be sure to hit me up on Discord to receive your prize. And that's going to do it for us this week. Now, if you need more news in your life, you know I'm going to send you to a bunch of different places. First is Sky News, Russia's premier Eve Echoes news outlet, where they have all their videos up in Russian. But if you don't speak Russian, that's okay. They have them in English subtitles. Also, you have the legendary Rambo's and Taylor Rick's Echoes of New Eden podcast. It's new every week. If you want to be part of the audience, just jump onto their Discord server. And the times are always posted to be part of the live audience. And lastly, there's the New Eden radio show, where they get together, play great music, and have wild discussions. Every Sunday is a great show. Be sure to check in on their Discord server and have a great time. Now that's going to do it for me. So until I talk to you guys next, have a great week, have a great weekend, fly safe, and remember, we're always one vision, one purpose, one front.